Right, hi guys, you are going to be looking at a black screen very quickly just while I explain this series. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be teaching people who have never played or perhaps want to get into Path of Exile. I'm going to be explaining and showing you a super duper easy to use build. Now, each of these videos is going to be about 20 minutes long. It might be slightly longer, slightly. It's not going to be like an hour long as usual because you are going to be able to play along. That's the idea. I'm going to be making this build again. I've got a pretty good idea how it works. I'm going to be playing it in the same league as hopefully you guys play it in. So, like, yeah, you can play along and I'll explain, like, boss strategies and stuff. And, yeah, hopefully, like, if you've never played Path of Exile, this is a perfect build. You don't need much currency. In fact, you don't need anything to get started. The build just works. It's super easy to play. It's super easy to use. And hopefully you'll be joining me on this journey and we'll walk through everything. Right, first of all, let's get straight into it. This is the build. There is going to be a link below in the description for this. It is a dual flame totem. I don't know what BM means actually. Oh, blood magic. So you don't use mana, you use health. Huge shout out actually to Lifting Nerd Bro. There's his Twitch is on there as well, but yeah, he's come up with some really amazing builds. As it says here, we're just gonna have a look at the build and maybe for most of this part. But this build can be played as a Witch, Templar, and a Marauder. We're gonna be playing it as a Witch though. The Witch is the easiest of the like ones. So, but yeah, this build is very strong compared to the amount of currency you have to invest in it. So you don't have to like be super rich to be able to play this and do pretty well at it. It's very easy to use. These are the skill gems. You don't have to really remember this as such. I will talk about them through the video when we're picking skill gems, when stuff drops and stuff. But if you want to have a pause and have a look at this and understand the build, so Flame Totem is our main damage. It's going to be faster casting. I have fire penetration support, faster projectiles, and if we get a 6 link or a 5 link, we'll add a chaos damage and iron will. If not, then fine. For additional defenses, we're going to have some buffs pretty much. We get like a teleport sort of skill. So yeah, the first thing I want to kind of show you guys is, I hope this works. Yep, it will. This is the passive tree. Now, like I said, you guys are going to be playing along with me, so you don't have to think, oh shit, I'm never going to remember this, and like, oh, what do all these mean? Because as we're putting points in them, I'll give a quick talk about them. But the first sort of 32 skill points are going to be going to Ancestral Bond. I do know the route, I guess, so to speak. So, yeah. And we also like have finished builds. We have some bandit quest rewards. We'll like cover those in another video as well. Gearing priorities, life, armor, strength. Again, I'll explain why and why we're taking these and such. These are just some weapons, like some unique weapons, what I have never found. But again, I'll show you guys. Like I said, the link is in the description. So if you want to have a look at these properly, then by all means feel free to do so. But yeah, I'm probably not going to find any of these. However, as well, one sec, I'm just going to load up a new tab. Well, I'm not, I'm just going to ant new loot filter. Something that was brought into this patch was a loot filter. I will put a link for this one. There is like instructions in here, but hopefully you guys literally like just, again, I want everything to be sort of like, I'm going to do it, you copy along. Mine is up to date, so you just click this link and you get this. This is the item filter. All this fancy sort of like code stuff is the item filter. It just makes items easier to see. I highly recommend it. So all you do is, I personally use Notepad++, but you can use anything you like. So you select all of this, copy, open a new text document in either Notepad or anything, paste the contents into it, and this is where the one I made earlier should work, but it hasn't, so I'm just going to have to very quickly reset this up. And there we go. Here's one I did earlier. Well, it's not, it's literally like my own filter. So yeah, I've copied and pasted it. As you can see, it's literally the correct version, everything else. Then we want to go to File. You can't see this, you can just see my mouse moving, but you want to go to File, Save As, and then I will get this window visible. And so, yep, File, Save As, and then you will see Anthony Filter. You can name it whatever you like, to be honest. The only thing you have to do is change this to all file types, and you have to change it to .filter. It has to be .filter. It will look slightly different in Notepad, but yeah, use it as an accordion if you use Notepad or any other editor. But there you go. And then it will be like, do I want to replace it? I don't, because I know this one works and I don't want to cock it up because that would be embarrassing. But yeah, so once you've got your filter and everything installed, it's time to create our character. So let's head over to Path of Exile. Here we go. Here's one I loaded earlier, Kappa. Right, we're finally getting towards the game. So we're going to log in, select obviously the region nearest to you. I don't want to like have to explain stuff like that amount of stuff. That's like just common sense. I mean, like, come on. But we're going to create a new character. The standard and hardcore. But we're going to go with the Warbands. If you die in Warbands, it doesn't matter. You stay in Warbands. So it's slightly more fun. In Tempest, if you die, you go into the Standard League. So if you're playing along with me and you die in Tempest, you're out of the league and you won't get the effects I have. So we'll all stick with Warbands, ideally. And we are going to make ourselves a witch.
They were right to fear me. If only they had listened to their cowardice.
But
had they not taken my home with fire.
Oh my god, I wish I could shut her up.
They were right to fear me.
We'll just, then
if
we're
only
going to
they had listened to their cowardice. Had they not taken my home with fire, I would not have taken their children. Now I'm banished to Redcast. I've heard the dark rumors, seen the terror in the other exiles' eyes.
I'll play along,
but to me, one land is like any other. The elements are my allies. The dead are my servants.
We've created a witch.
And fear will be my closest friend.
We're going to be in game. We're not going to get like super far in along with me, but yeah. So, right, we're in game. First thing you want to do, go to your options, or even do this before you get in game. Set your settings as how you want them. One thing to note, at the bottom of the user interface, there is the item filters. But, yeah, item filter loaded. Like, that's all you need to do. Your item filter will be there. On the item filter itself, it does tell you exactly where to save it. And you may have to log into game for that folder to appear. But anyway, right, so we're going to left click to pick ourselves up. Actually, you know what you can do as well? Is if you want it, you can change the controls. For example, I use these skills as numpad. I'm weird, I know. And like I use my potions, like the flasks, which are potions. I use those in those keys as well. You can have them to literally whatever you want. So, yeah, you can just have a look at all of these and change them as and when needed. But if you want to set your options to sort of similar to mine, including these ticks, I will slowly scroll through so you can stop and pause or take note of anything. So I'll do that. That's basically like subtitles as well for any of my viewers that need that. Notifications, I've just got all those on, but it's mainly I guess the user interface and yeah, that. So anyway, right, we've done enough talking. Let's left click our weapon, which auto equips due to an option we had in there, and speak to this guy. I'm not going to be reading the if you want to read this, if you want to know the story, play along. So left click, yeah, left click, kill that zombie. We get our first skill gem. Skill gems are in this game are how all skills work basically. This is a projectile spell. It's got some AoE on it and it's fire. It's just general information. It's level 1. It costs 6 mana. It takes that long to cast and has a 6% crit chance. With it being blue, it can only go in blue sockets in our gear. That's what these circles are. They're sockets where you put gems. That's all I'm going to mention about that for now. And as we come across other variations and stuff, we will like explain it as and when we need. But as you can see now, we have got that fireball, one that costs 6 mana and has a 20% chance of igniting, which we can use to kill enemies. But as you can see, our mana does regenerate, but it is quite slow. And one thing to note in this game is the use of potions. If, for example, if we waste some mana and then use a thing, like we healed our mana when you went, so it recovered 60 mana, which is fine, but it consumed 10 charges. Now what are charges? Charges basically you get for killing enemies. So I will show you guys. Now it's always useful if you want to like sort of like have the easiest time possible to run around and loot stuff. Now this spell, if you look next to it's 11.5 DPS, 6 mana cost, cast time, blah blah blah. It's the DPS I want to show you guys because now it's gone to 12. So by equipping 2 wands, the extra 8% increased spell damage from that does actually help. And we don't have a shield, so we're a bit more, I guess, not as strong. But as we've killed 2 enemies, we have 22 charges, so it's 1 charge per enemy. And barrels don't count, which probably makes sense, I guess. So this will be 24 when we kill him. See? And that is how your life and mana flasks like regain, like I guess their uses. But this first area is fairly straightforward. You may run into different enemies than I do. I can't guarantee, the maps might be different as well. This is just some armor. It does make us run slightly slower, but we'll wear it. I generally wouldn't, but if you guys are playing along, I want to like give you any chance of succeeding I can. So we've got a chest. Like I said, you're going to have different results. Let's just compare these 2 armors. This has got 2 green sockets, this has got 1 red socket. Apart from that, they're absolutely identical, and seeing as we aren't using red or green gems at the minute, it doesn't matter one way or the other which we use. So yeah, we can use a variation of auto attacks and spells to take these enemies down. Like I said, as long as we're killing stuff, we are going to be getting flask charges, so not too bad. And same with life as well, so you don't have to worry about getting too low on life. If you take a hit or 2, then just drink a potion. Now, that there was a level up. Unless you've never played an RPG game before, then you know what a level up is. So we get passive skill points per level. Now if you remember, this tree probably looks familiar, although it isn't like got colours in. But remember, we're going to make our way over to Ancestral Bond. So the first point we're going to chuck in here. You can either control click or you can click on it and then apply point. I just control click because I know where I want to put them, but if you want to be careful, because you can't undo skills very easily in this game, you can undo them, but it does take special points. Now this is the first sort of boss. He isn't that tough, to be honest. He's literally just got melee attacks, and with use of potions and stuff, like you can sort of just tank him if you want. But there we go, he's died. Your loot drops may be different to mine, so yeah, bear that in mind. I might have better loot than you, you might have better loot than me, but it's all fun and games. This blue item and this blue item are magic. It means they're unidentified. So we're going to right click on a scroll and identify them. So this gives us +1 to all attributes, a bit of cold damage to our attacks, and a bit of physical damage to our attacks. So we'll equip it because we don't have one. That gives 15 max mana, which is better than, I guess, a plain. Well, that doesn't give any extra stats, but that does give extra mana, which is going to be a little useful for us. So yeah, and we're in the first town. Now it has only been 15 minutes, so I will be continuing.
Lionel's watch isn't much.
I do probably have items in here. Yeah, I've got a few. So I'll just ignore them for now. We'll just assume we don't have them. But yeah, we'll just talk to all these and clear them off. When we speak to this guy, he gives us a quest reward. You can choose whatever you like. However, I'm going to choose Magma Orb. So we're going to select that one and we can just drop it into our inventory. Or we could have dropped it into a blue socket. Now, at the minute, we have quite a few blue sockets. It doesn't matter which. If I put it in this, it doesn't actually get the increased spell damage. That's for everything. The only thing that directly affects skill gems are other support gems. Now, we're going to sell some stuff, and we get some scroll fragments. 5 of these turn into 1 of these. So, yeah. And we'll just chuck those in there, like so.
Be careful.
You can purchase skill gems from her. Fireball, Raise, Zombie, Freezing Pulse, Lightning Tendrils, Spark, and Magma Orb. If you did want another different skill, but like I said, if you are playing along with me, I probably sort of like would recommend playing along with me and just copying what I do. So we have Magma Orb and Fireball now. As we can see, less mana cost and more DPS on Magma Orb. I'm going to put that. If you left click this, you can change which skill we have on our right mouse click and our middle mouse click. So yeah, I'm going to do that. We're going to go into the coast. This is the first area. So as we can see, we've got some gloves with 2 red sockets which are linked. We've got like
my sisters.
Yeah, some gear.
Upon the pyre.
We haven't got that much gear. But yeah, these maps are all randomly generated. This is our new skill, Magma Orb. It bounces, as you can see, and then bounces again. It's fairly, I like this skill, to be honest. We've got some boots with a green and blue link socket and a red socket on its own. Unless they're linked, then they're not. Sort of like on their own. These guys will just spit at you. They're a little annoying, but whatever. We're just going to run over here just while we explain this. How skills get stronger is they level up. At the minute, Magma Orb, remember these numbers, it does 14.6 and costs 5 mana. So it now does 16.1 but costs 6 mana. So as you gain experience, so do your skill gems. Let's just take it out a second and look at it. So there it is, it's level 2. Fireball is still level 1, believe it or not. It doesn't really matter, but basically as your skills level up, they require more mana, and due to needing more mana and doing more damage, well, like basically, yeah, the two go hand in hand. So there's different sort of like enemies in this area, but they're all fairly straightforward, and you can sort of figure out the attack pattern. And what I'm trying to do with this is I was trying to get my second bounce to hit enemies behind. And they're just little like bits of story if you want to listen to them, which I don't. So as you can see, like, they didn't hit him. I'm gonna drink the pot because we're getting low on HP. You don't have to like level as the same way I am as well. You can run faster or you can go slower than I am. A superior item has something known as quality, which that one had 11%. I would suggest picking up most of the gear when you're first starting out, so you can afford explosive wisdoms and stuff. So we are just going to take all gear, even if we're not using it. We have got an Orb of Transmutation. Now, you may or may not have one of these yet, but it's simply, if you right click it, it upgrades a normal item into a magic item. So it would turn a normal item like this into a blue item with a random sort of stat thing to it. Probably best just to save it, because we're going to be changing gear pretty often. Now, this only has 8% spell damage. So by using one that has 11, we take our Magma Orb to 17.5 DPS. And maybe this starts one-shotting stuff now. Yeah, that little bit of extra damage has helped us one-shot stuff. Now this is only a 9% wand. It's the same as the one we already have in our other hands, so there is no point changing that. There's just some more items here what I'm going to pick up. You just kind of want to like sort of wander your way like inland across the coast, and you'll eventually run to this waypoint, which is between the next two areas. Like, the next area is just literally over here, believe me. There you go. See? So, this is going to be it for part 1, guys. Like I said, it's going to be around 20 minutes an episode. So we are just going to go back to town very quickly and sell our stuff. It doesn't matter who we sell to, they just have to be able to like sell or purchase. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll actually save this quality item for now, just to show you guys something. But there we go, we've got 1 extra scroll and 2 fragments. If we left control and click that, it puts it straight into our inventory, like so. And the same with that. So chuck those in, and I'm going to put these in a different page. I'll just chuck these in here for now. I probably should do with, I have premium stash tabs, so I can right click and name them and customize them. You won't. That's the only like aspect of pay to win in this, is stash tabs. But if you're playing the game that much where you need stash tabs, then surely you should be supporting the game a tiny bit. You don't have to, you can just make more characters and stuff to store stuff on, but it's completely up to you. But anyway guys, like I said, that's it for part 1. I will see you guys in part 2 when we shall go back out there and continue leveling. So yeah, see you guys then.